Collins Arena as we get set for Game 2 of our doubleheader this evening. Brian Goudsward, Tim Catalfamo back here with you. Brookdale off to another terrific start. They've won their first 4 games. Tim, they're doing it with Jaimik Moore, the reigning Conference Player of the Week, but really the offense as a whole, it's been clicking for the Jersey Blues.
Yeah, one thing that Brookdale has going in their favor is they have a very large bench, and they've been able to depend on that. There's been a lot of freshman players that have come in over the offseason as far as recruiting is concerned from Coach Chizek and from that entire coaching staff that have come off the bench that have played well. And, of course, Brookdale's depending on players such as Kyle Bradshaw, Jordan Hernandez, who were on the team last year. So this team as a whole has a lot of depth, and they play really well. When one player goes down or goes out with foul trouble, most of the time another player can come off of the bench and take that place of that player that's gone out. So it makes it very dangerous, very tough to beat, and I don't expect it to be any different tonight.
And the opponent tonight will be the Middlesex Colts. Kind of an up-and-down start for them. They're 2-2. Mixed bag of results for the first 2 games as their starting lineup gets introduced behind us right now. And well, that's not it. That was the women's lineup from the first game, but we'll give you the lineup as soon as we have it. For the Colts, it's Darius Valencia, Victor Spencer, Ali Austin, and then the 2 leading scorers, Jaquan Robertson and Jamar Joseph. And for the Jersey Blues, who have started the year in terrific style with 4 consecutive victories, and they'll go with the same starting 5 that has produced those 4 wins on the season. A 5 that includes Zach Olakani, Grant Good, Kyle Bradshaw, Jaimik Moore, and Matt Ringel will be Paul Chizek's 5 that start the game tonight. Now, Region 19 basketball coming at you on this Tuesday night, as Middlesex has already taken to the court. The Jersey Blues getting introduced now as see Ringel, who has been a big factor to start the year, especially on the defensive side. And these Jersey Blues looking to keep up the winning ways on this young season.
And I talked to Coach Chizek right before the game, and he told me if his team can come out, run, attack the zone, and crash the boards, they'll have no problem handling Middlesex tonight. But the Blue Colts have a lot of power. They have a lot of depth on their team as well, a lot of big bodies underneath. So this certainly is not going to be an easy matchup. I think this will be the first true test that Brookdale has had all year in the conference on their home floor.
Brookdale last played on Saturday. They won that one 95-68. Middlesex has split their last 2 games. The last one of their better performances of the year, and that came against Atlantic Cape. So here we go, set for the opening tip, and we're underway. The Jersey Blues have controlled it, and they start with Jaimik Moore handling top of the key. Here's Ringel along the baseline, out for Moore. Moore, the spin, flips it up and in. What a move to start the night.
Yeah, Jaimik Moore had 16 points and 6 assists in the last game, as they're having a problem with the shot clock. But he had 16.6 assists in the last game that you mentioned, Brian, that win against Passaic back on Saturday at Passaic. So certainly going to be a player that Brookdale's going to be looking to tonight.
And the 16 points that you mentioned was actually a season low for Moore. That is just how great his start has been, earning him Garden State Athletic Conference Player of the Week honors. Here's the Colts on their first possession, and that pass goes through the hands of Victor Spencer, out of bounds back to Brookdale.
Yeah, Ali Austin, a freshman 6 foot from Piscataway, New Jersey, going to be a player that we're probably going to be calling a lot tonight. Very quick with the dribble. Unfortunately, that time down the floor, just a little bit too quick. Didn't really turn around fully to see where Spencer was and threw the ball out of play.
Ringel tried to thread the needle down low for Grant Good, but it was deflected out of bounds. So with just 8 seconds into the shot clock, Brookdale to inbound. And it will be Olakani. Moore, quick catch and fire, knocks it down, a corner 3. A 5-0 Brookdale start, a 5-0 Jaimik Moore start. A minute in to play tonight. On the drive, Robertson dropped it off. Victor Spencer got double-teamed. Now back out, Robertson, rainbow delivery, doesn't get it. And Olakani, the rebound off the deflection. Moore behind the back, Olakani got tied up, able to regather. The shot misses, tipped up, and the rebound to Robertson.
Yeah, we're going to see Brookdale push the ball all night. That's really kind of been a staple of their offense.
Valencia comes up with air, and it's fielded by Moore. Bradshaw, the bounce, good, up and under, and he gets it to fall.
Yeah, you mentioned in the opening some of the leaders on this team, the large team that they have. Grant Good is a true freshman, certainly a player that has come right off the bench to start this year, been very impressive in the opening couple of games. He's a player that Brookdale will look to throughout the year to help out some of these returning sophomores, such as Zach Olakani or Kyle Bradshaw.
It's a 7-0 run to start the game tonight as the shot misses by Joseph, able to save it. Robertson can't hit, and rebound good. Moore, long feed, Ringel can't spin it in, and it's rebounded by Ali Austin as Ringel hit the deck. He's able to get back to his feet. Spencer, the hard drive, and Bradshaw was there to make him think about it defensively as the Colts will hold on to it. Now you get a bunch of changes for a Colts team that has started the first 2.5 minutes without a point. Robertson takes his time. Around to the corner. Shot clock now down to 10. And that shot is flat by Austin. Offensive rebound and the putback by Javon Murky. So finally, Middlesex gets on the board. It's a 7-2 Brookdale lead. Ringel had it knocked away, gets it back. Now good, out to the corner. Olakani fires. Looked like he tried to use the backboard. It didn't work out. And then a loose ball foul. We'll keep the ball on this end of the floor as it's the second team foul against Middlesex.
There's a lot of contact underneath that basket the last time there, Brian. I'm surprised the officials blew the whistle late as they did.
Joseph Kudakiewicz picks up the personal. And so Olakani to inbound. Bradshaw catch and shoot. Missed it short. Ringel battling for possession. He's not going to win it. As it was Robertson there on the Middlesex side, and it'll be Colts basketball. Now a whistle.
Yeah, the officials wanted the shot clock to reset, but the official didn't realize the shot clock had already been reset, so that's why he blew the whistle.
Here's Austin. Now Robertson. And he's called for an offensive foul. He tried to go up for a lefty layup. Did they change the call? Now the officials are huddling up. Paul Chizek is exasperated. So initially they called an offensive foul, and it appears the officials had a change of heart. And now it works against Brookdale, and it's a free throw opportunity for Middlesex. That's rather bizarre.
Yeah, Good was outside of that restricted area, that half circle that's right inside the paint. You see those black markings in there. If you're outside of that, regardless of what the offensive player does, you're going to get called for a blocking foul every single time. So initially I thought it was a good call, but the side official who had a better view at it went over and changed it, so it's the first foul on Good.
So Robertson now second attempt. He makes 2 from the line. Now Brookdale trying to push the tempo. It's Olakani on the floater. Olakani off to somewhat of a slow start this season in terms of shooting, down to 33% from the field, but even when he's not shooting at his best percentage, he impacts the game in so many different ways. This time it is an offensive foul, and it was Jaimik Moore who took the hit. So third team foul against the Colts, and Jamar Joseph picks it up. Brookdale still has their starting lineup on the floor. About 4 minutes in, Ringel from the outside, in and out, and it's rebounded by Joseph. For Middlesex, it's only their second game away from Edison, New Jersey. They are 0-1. Oh, Ringel denies the shot attempt at the rim by Joseph. And we've seen a whole lot of that from Ringel in the early part of this season.
Yeah, Ringel averages 4 blocks coming into this game. So that's one of probably many tonight. Mark that down at home.
Seen him have as many as 7 in the season opener against Hartford, that game that Brookdale won against the Division I Owls. Kodakiewicz sets it up, and the shot clock's down to 6. Kodakiewicz stripped by Ringel. Here come the Jersey Blues. Numbers developing. Olakani to good, and he throws it down 2 hands.
Yeah, nice extra pass there by Olakani. Unselfish basketball led to that nice throwdown by Good.
Brookdale by 7 as you take another look. Good execution. Kodakiewicz couldn't catch it, and now the Jersey Blues again in transition. Good wanted to take it himself, but they say no, a travel. And so it's a Jersey Blue turnover with 15-14 remaining in the first half. A half that has started very strongly for the home Jersey Blues. Olakani defending it midcourt. Austin to the corner for Robertson, aggressively inside, and he's going to get free throws out of it. Jaquan Robertson on a nice move to the basket. So Robertson, who comes off a team-leading 24 points in the Colts' last game. For the year, he's averaging 17.5 per game. Free throw, no good. So now Denzel Lampley, who is one of the new additions to this Brookdale roster, he along with Anthony McNeil are in uniform. We did not see either of them when we did the first game against Hartford. As Bradshaw spotting up, knocks it down, it's a 3.
Yeah, Kyle Bradshaw had 25 points, 10 rebounds in the last game. That led the team, so I'm surprised Bradshaw didn't get off to a quicker start to start this game, but now he's got that 3. Looked for him to be a player that Brookdale's going to depend on tonight.
Middlebrooks lines it up. Lloyd Middlebrooks off the mark. Now Olakani running in transition. Olakani, beautiful move. He did everything but make the basket. Bradshaw tried on the save, but it was intercepted. Nice play by Jamar Joseph. Bounce it inside for Murky. Now Joseph sets, fires, missed it short. Olakani ahead for good. No one in front of him, and he has his second dunk of the half.
And once again, second time Olakani has assisted Good in those throwdowns, so just nice unselfish play.
Another great start as Brookdale is running and gunning, and Grant Good on a couple of occasions has rocked the rim. We get a timeout on the floor. We'll take a break here at the Collins Arena on Brookdale TV. Well, Brookdale has become accustomed to getting off to these fast starts early in games, and a lot of times we've seen them just never look back. They've had some wire-to-wire victories this season. They've already built a 12-point lead as Middlesex with possession outside the timeout. Robertson back out to the corner. Kudakiewicz lines it up. Way off the mark. Rebound, Frez Cabrera. And Goods' pass is too tall for Bradshaw. So Brookdale trying to push the tempo, but it cost them there on a turnover.
Yeah, and that's one of the downsides of this hurry-up, up-tempo offense that Brookdale likes to run. Part of the problem is when you have a lot of players running down the floor, you got to make quick decisions. Good had to make a quick decision there, just overshot the pass to Bradshaw.
They give Robertson the jumper, and he missed it. And then Good is fouled after he came away with the rebound. So it's going to be team foul number 4 against the Colts. And Lloyd Middlebrooks, seeing some action here in the first half, picks up his first. About 7 minutes gone by. And here's Good with the spin, and he goes glass, but he couldn't convert on it. And then the rebound picked up by Murky. Kudakiewicz. Moore was there defensively, so the Colts will reset. Middlebrooks, a lot of dribbling. Moore nearly to steal. Nice effort, but it'll stay with the Colts.
Yeah, and even though Moore didn't necessarily get that steal there, it was out of bounds. It disrupts Middlesex enough. Now they have to inbound the ball. Shot clock is already winding down. They got 11 seconds on the shot clock, so that really helps. It was a nice defensive play, even though he wasn't able to make the steal.
And they get it in for Robertson. Shot clock now down to 5. Middlebrooks has to make it happen. Middlebrooks, and it's stolen. Leaking out in transition is Good. Takes it on the bounce and goes up, lays it in easily.
A nice patience there by Good. Sometimes when you get a ball like that, when you're running down the floor, you're not really sure when to catch it because you don't know when the defender's going to come behind you, and you certainly don't want to wind yourself up too far away from the basket if you take a couple of steps. So nice patience and a nice finish.
And there's Robertson. They got hit as he went up for the shot. No foul called. Now here's Moore. And Moore will draw the foul. He may have gotten away with an extra step on that drive to the basket, but instead it's a free throw opportunity for the Jersey Blues leading scorer.
Yeah, I think Jaimik got away with one extra step, but I think the foul may have come right as he was taking that third step, so that's why he got bailed out there.
And Moore has been shooting lights out from the line, 94%, and isn't that what always happens?
Well, didn't that happen in the women's game? Who was it? Somebody was shooting 100% from the line and you jinxed them?
It was Vreeland.
You're 2 for 2 for 2 for 2 tonight.
Yeah. I'm shooting a good percentage on my jinxes.
It happens. It happens. It's the announcer's jinx.
While Moore splits a pair.
I tell you, what a start for Brookdale. 19-4. Incredible.
Here's Joseph. Joseph on the step back. Ringel was there to alter the shot. Good on the rebound. And here comes Lampley. Now Brookdale's 5 on the floor is Cabrera, Ringel, Lampley, Good, and Moore. Cabrera on the hard drive. Scoop layup attempt. Back out Lampley. Shot clock doesn't reset. Ringel will try a 3. And it's off the rim, no good. Cabrera trying to go up strong. And then finally it's taken by Joseph, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, Ringel was out of position there. Ringel, I know he can shoot the 3, but that's not really where you want Matt to be at the top of the key. So kind of a discombobulated offensive possession there for Brookdale. And Middlesex luckily was able to come away with Brookdale not adding to their lead.
You don't often see Ringel step out from that distance. Middlesex trying to get something going offensively. They have just 4 points on the board. Here's Middlebrooks. Gets it back near the foul line. A lot of traffic there. And putting it up and in is Arkell Miller for his first field goal. Cabrera And he stepped out of bounds, so no basket. The official was right on top of it. So Brookdale back on the defensive side here. Middlebrooks, a lot of dribbling. And now the jumper from the outside is off the rim, no good by Jamar Joseph. And here's Jaimik Moore, puts it up, won't go, tip in. Moore keeps it alive. Lampley lines up a three, that won't go. And then it's rebounded by Arkell Miller. About halfway through this first half, Jersey Blues by 13. Valencia goes up, that misses Ringel the rebound. Cabrera initiating the contact, count the basket, and one. Blocking foul called. Strong move by Cabrera and a chance to make it a three-point play.
Yeah, really nice job by Cabrera. Brookdale's really driving the ball inside, trying to draw the contact and get to the line. Haven't been necessarily at the line too much in this game, but they're getting inside, they're getting nice offensive rebounds, second, third chance opportunities, which is what you need to do in a game like this.
And Cabrera coming off a terrific outing, 15 points on 6 of 7 from the field. That was off the bench in the last game for Brookdale, that win at Passaic. So the three-point play is good. Cabrera comes out of the game as Olakani is back in. Grant Good to the bench as well, as the other substitution was Kenneth LaRocca. 22-6, Jersey Blues. Joseph LaRocca trying to knock it away. It's a jump ball. And Matt Ringel is signaling it should be Brookdale basketball. The possession arrow says it's Middlesex ball.
I tell you, that was a very quick jump ball called on the officials. It looked like LaRocca made a clean swipe and was able to get the ball out of the defender's hands there. But either way, they're going to give it to Brookdale, I think. But
yeah, I guess the possession arrow was inaccurate. Looked like Brookdale was pretty convinced they should have it, and they do. So the ball and a 16-point lead. Nice look inside. Bradshaw missed with the left hand. And Cameron Santil, who's in the game, comes the other way. Joseph steps into the jumper. It's good. But Jamar Joseph, he's their leading scorer, comes in averaging 20 a game. And he knocks one in for his first points of the night. Nice cut to the basket, but they say no, it's a travel. And Ringel looks rather perplexed. A couple of times, though, Brookdale has had baskets negated on turnovers. 9 minutes left to go in the first half. Joseph drive and kick, work it to the corner. Bounce it for Robertson, and he's going to go to the line after that underhanded attempt. And that's Cameron Santil, excuse me, will go to the line for the Colts.
yeah, that's really the first time that I've seen Middlesex actually drive the ball inside and try to draw contact. They've been taking a lot of shots from around the perimeter, but one way to beat an offense like Brookdale is to drive the ball inside on the other end when you have the ball and try to draw some contact and get to the foul line, try to extend the game. Brookdale's a very high-powered offense. They like to run the ball a lot. One way to help that and to try to keep yourself in the game is to get to the foul line, try to extend the game. They haven't done that a whole lot, but maybe they'll start picking things up.
So Santil makes two at the line. He's a freshman from Piscataway, New Jersey. And Cabrera knocks one down from the corner. It's a three. And Frez Cabrera has provided a nice spark coming off the bench. Knows his role well and done a very good job with it. And wide open underneath is Santil for the bucket. timeout Brookdale as Paul Chizek unhappy after that defensive breakdown. So we get a stoppage, 8:17 remaining in the first half. And we'll keep it here. And Tim, it's another impressive start for the Jersey Blues. They got out of the gates with that quick 7-0 run. The Blue Colts were able to get something going on the offensive end, but it's been a first half largely dominated by the Jersey Blues.
Yeah, I mean, like I said at the very beginning of the broadcast, Coach Chizek told me right before the game started, they have to run the ball, they have to attack the zone defense that Middlesex is using, and get to the glass and get to the boards. Well, so far in this game, they've done all three. The only criticism I would have of Brookdale, and this comes with just having a very fast up-tempo offense, sometimes with that up-tempo offense, you have players like Grant Good or some of the freshmen that every now and then will make a mistake, particularly when you're coming down the floor in a fast break opportunity that leads to a couple of turnovers. Other than that, Brookdale has played very well.
About 8 minutes left to go in the first half. Swing it over to Moore. Moore not looking to shoot. Timer at 10 now for Cabrera. Bradshaw inside the arc, too strong, and it's rebounded by Robertson. Middlesex will slow it down here. Austin's watched by Olakani. Austin makes his move. Austin back out. Valencia tries a three-pointer and knocks it down. Darius Valencia, the long-range jumper for the Colts. So a mini run here gone on by Middlesex. Cabrera, not that time for three. And Bradshaw didn't have to go for the save because Middlesex would have touched it last out of bounds.
Yeah, really smart play there by Bradshaw, spiking it off. I believe that was Robertson's foot there underneath the basket.
Inbounds for Moore. Moore on the low block. And a travel is called. It's an interesting call and one that Paul Chizek will have the official come over and get an explanation. Seven minutes remaining. Jersey Blues by 11. Austin floats it up. Olakani tracks it down. Cabrera, the crossover. Cabrera, the floater. Won't go. And it's rebounded by Joseph. Joseph got some pressure there from Cabrera and nearly forced a turnover, but instead Cabrera gets called for a foul. That's a tough one. Bilal Dixon, head coach for Middlesex, yelling out to his group. So we got some feisty tempers running by both head coaches.
Well, we expect that from Coach Chizek, let's put it that way. We know he's a fiery guy on the sidelines, but Coach Dixon is not very happy with his team, and he's got a reason to be. They have not really been able to move the ball around and drive the ball inside, which, again, they haven't been able. They've gone on a run the last couple of minutes. Yes, they've been able to claw themselves back into this game, but they got to drive the ball more inside if they're going to try to beat Brookdale tonight.
Makai Morgan has checked into the game for Brookdale. There's Moore in the corner. Bradshaw up with the left hand. It's going the other way. Offensive foul, I thought. No, now they say count the basket. It looked like the official gave the indication of an offensive foul. Instead, it's a blocking foul and a chance to make it a three-point play for Bradshaw.
Yes, Santil was inside that restricted area that we were talking about just a second ago, so that's why it was a blocking foul and not an offensive foul on Bradshaw.
The officials need to be more clear with their signals there. Sometimes it seems like it can go either way. But Brookdale doubling up the Blue Colts, 28-14. And about 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Robertson. LaRocca got in the way of the pass. Shot clock down to 13. Joseph against Bradshaw. Joseph tried to spin. Offensive foul.
Yeah, and you talked about the fouls. Middlesex now has 8 team fouls. Brookdale only has 5, and we're almost, I would say, 3/4 of the way through this first half. So certainly Brookdale has not gotten themselves in the foul trouble. They've been playing very smart so far. A long way to go, but nonetheless, have been playing very smart.
So Stefan Forbes into the game for the first time tonight. He replaces LaRocca. So we'll reset the Jersey Blue lineup. It's Moore, Morgan, Bradshaw, Cabrera, and Forbes. Bradshaw's pass tipped and stolen. Here come the Colts. Valencia missed it off the glass. Bradshaw the rebound, and Bradshaw gets it up ahead. Moore puts up a three-pointer. That's too strong. A long rebound to Valencia.
I tell you, there's a lot of contact underneath the basket, both ways, but a lot of contact that's not being called, particularly when players are fighting for the rebound. A little bit concerned the officials aren't calling that. It's only going to get worse if you're not calling those fouls.
Three-point attempt is off the mark by Austin. And now Morgan to the basket. And a late whistle and a foul. Be interesting to see which way this one goes. Frez Cabrera, it's on the Jersey Blues, his second. Team foul number 6. And Olakani along with Denzel Lampley are the Brookdale substitutions.
But now you really see how deep Brookdale is. I mean, they just continue to rotate players in, and they don't really lose much of performance on the court. That's how deep this team is, and that's why they're so hard to beat.
That's one thing that's a strength of the program is just how many players they have to turn to, so many different lineup combinations, and seemingly all of them they get some kind of production out of.
And they're good quality, too.
Shot clock now down to 6. Robertson got bumped, can't get it to fall, and it's rebounded by Lampley. Up ahead, Forbes. Forbes, hard drive, and he gets absolutely hammered by Javon Murky. And Forbes is shaken up. 3 teammates are able to assist him to his feet, so he appears to be okay, but that was a hard hit delivered. Forbes, a little shaken up, will shoot free throws.
It looked like Forbes fell down on his right side there, hard to the floor, so certainly glad that he's all right.
67% free throw shooter makes the first. And he is the lone player from Brookdale, not from New Jersey, as he comes from Bed-Stuy, New York, and he's good on 2 free throws. Now it's Brookdale 30, Middlesex 14, with 4:20 remaining in the first half. And tying up there was Lampley. The possession arrow favors Middlesex.
Yeah, Javon Murky underneath the basket. He just hesitated way too long. He had nice position on Jaimik Moore, but he took that extra dribble or two. That's something that when you have the ball down there in that position, you got to go straight up with it. You can't hesitate.
Shot clock at 10. Kudakiewicz had it stripped. Good defense by Lampley. As now Middlesex has to inbound and only 6 to shoot. The inbounder, Austin. Robertson against Moore. Robertson, a long 3, way short. Bradshaw rebounds. Here's Forbes. Tough shot, in and out. And rebound, Austin. Kudakiewicz, open look. Off the rim. Bradshaw rebound, gets it to Moore. Baseball style pass ahead. Lampley eludes the defenders and scores.
And that's just how quick Brookdale can move the ball up the floor. It almost makes your head spin in a way. They just are able to move that ball up the floor so quick. Middlesex just can't get back on defense.
And there's just nothing you can do defensively to stop those kind of tries. Has good position down low for Murky, but he can't get it to fall. And then Robertson trying to give his team possession. Instead, it's Brookdale. Bradshaw hesitates, drives, draws the foul. So it'll be team foul number 10. Any foul the rest of the way will result in free throws. This time it's Bradshaw at the stripe. So you mentioned Bradshaw's strong performance, a 20-10 game, 25 points, 10 boards in the win at Passaic. And they needed someone to step up from a scoring standpoint because Jaimik Moore was held to a season-low total, and Bradshaw was able to do that. He gives the Jersey Blues a 20-point lead here tonight.
Yeah, we should mention a season-low total being 16 points. That's still a pretty good night on average, but for Jaimik Moore, that's a low.
Robertson out. Kudakiewicz tries another three-pointer, and it's last touched out of bounds by Bradshaw.
Yeah, that's the second or third time Brookdale has left Kudakiewicz open behind the three-point line. I guess Coach Chizek is not too concerned he's going to knock down that three, but I'd be more careful not leaving him out there like that. You don't want to give away a open look behind the three-point line.
LaRocca defending. New shot clock to work with for Middlesex. Kudakiewicz jab step. Bradshaw went for the steal, but he got a piece of Kudakiewicz. And that goes as a personal foul. Team foul number 8 as Bradshaw picks up his first. So this is 1-1 for Joseph Kudakiewicz, freshman out of Edison, New Jersey. And that is the hometown for these Middlesex Blue Colts. And Kudakiewicz will get another attempt. And he's shooting very well from the line, 91%. No jinx that time as he makes a pair.
You've redeemed yourself.
Here's Olakani. LaRocca way off the mark, and it's rebounded by Joseph. Austin pulls up for a three. Offensive rebound, put back, yes, and one. So Jaquan Robertson a chance for a three-point play as he went high up for the offensive rebound. And now the Blue Colts' second leading scorer to the line.
Yeah, Robinson at 6'3". Stephon Forbes, who that foul was on 5'10". Robinson just had to reach over Forbes, and then Forbes fouled him on the way back up.
So a little 5-0 run here for the visitors. It's trimmed the Brookdale lead to 15. Inside 2 minutes now in the first half. Olakani in the lane, his floater misses. Rebound secured by Joseph. Austin picked up by Olakani, he backs it out. Now Robertson goes to work. Robertson crossover, jump shot, no, as he fell down. Bradshaw the rebound. Bradshaw tried to throw it ahead, intercepted Robertson. Kudakiewicz, tough finish with the left hand. So a 7-0 run now for the Colts. Minute to play in the half. Brookdale lead now at 13. Lampley from the baseline, no. Joseph, pull-up jump. Rebound Bradshaw. Bradshaw all the way himself, flips it up, no. And Brookdale's come up empty their last several times up the floor. Robertson, offensive foul. He extended the arm. Lampley went down. And so with 36.2, Brookdale will have possession. And now Anthony McNeil for the first time comes into the game, including other substitutions as well. Makai Morgan, as Bradshaw and LaRocca hit the bench. About a 5-second difference, shot and game clock. Inside, McNeil makes his presence felt right away for 2. Timer now turned off. Middlesex can hold for 1 if they choose. Brookdale has led the entire way through the first half. And that is last touch Middlesex. So the Jersey Blues can close out the first half with a shot attempt here. Chance to add to a 15-point lead. They have Moore, Morgan, Lampley, McNeil, and Forbes. 5 seconds left. Moore to Forbes. Forbes fires three-pointer. In and out, no good. Rebound loose. And that'll do it for the first half. So Middlesex closed with a mini run of their own to get somewhat closer. But it was a first half that Brookdale led from the start. At the half, it's the Jersey Blues 36, the Colts 21. And Tim, we talked about as we get set to welcome you back inside our booth, Brian Coudsworth, Tim Catalfamo. Another fast start for the Jersey Blues, and it seems like they get off to these fast starts, and then sometimes they may coast a little bit, allow the other team to get back into the game, but it's that start that's key to the entire half.
Yeah, I mean, this even goes back to something that we saw last year with this team, and it's a totally different team than last year, but just something that's kind of a staple of Coach Chizak's teams over the years. They start out the game really well, and then they're able to, as you said, kind of coast and maintain that gap and that cushion and not so much have to continue to press every single time. So that's what we've seen so far. They've played extremely well, like I said, with the exception of a couple of misguided turnovers and possibly getting a little bit sloppy at the end of the first half. Brookdale's played very well. I've been very impressed by Kyle Bradshaw. He has grabbed, I don't know how many rebounds so far tonight. Been really someone who's been crashing the boards. That was the key to the game for Coach Chizak. So they played very well. I've been very impressed by how they played. Middlesex, what they need to do in the second half, they need to crash those boards. They need to go after Brookdale inside. I don't feel they're doing that enough. That's going to be an area that I think Coach Dixon is going to have to work on in the locker room the second half.
So it's Brookdale by 15. They're looking to make it 5 consecutive wins to open this new season off to another good start here tonight. We'll be back for the start of the second half after the break. Second half here at the Collins Arena. Brian Coudsworth, Tim Catalfamo, the rest of our Brookdale TV crew here. Second game of our doubleheader tonight. Women victorious in game number 1, and the men with a 15-point lead as we start the second half. And the Jersey Blues to retain possession. Come out with Moore, Olakani, Ringle, Bradshaw, and Good. Here's Ringle right underneath the basket, and he gets the roll.
Yeah, and that was something Brookdale did very good in the first half. They were able to attack the rim and get the ball inside, and that's something that I said at the end of the first half Middlesex is going to have to do in this second half if they want to stay with Brookdale.
Around the perimeter now on the drive, and it was blocked by Ringle in the paint. 2-on-1 break. Olakani slips and falls. Olakani able to stay with it, but then it's taken away by Austin. Ali Austin stripped by Bradshaw. Bradshaw goes behind the back for the save. Now Moore hoping to give it up for Olakani, but it's knocked away by Javon Murky. So the Jersey Blues inbound underneath with Olakani. Moore steps into a 2-point try. That's good. So Moore with his first points of the second half. He comes in averaging 26 and a half. That puts him in the top 10 in all of Division III on the season. Foul called on Olakani as Austin was handling.
And Olakani knew that. Tried to keep his hands behind his back, and then just at the last second went to go reach for the ball and picked up a quick personal there.
Austin to the bench, replaced by Lloyd Middlebrooks. Now Middlebrooks gives it up. Inside off the glass, the try by Murky, and Moore the rebound, and he's hit. So quickly, a couple of team fouls go on the board for the Colts. And that one is on Valencia, his first. Godakiewicz back in. And Valencia, that was actually his second. And we just got word that Grant Good has been named Garden State Athletic Conference Player of the Week just today. So how about that for Brookdale? It's Jaimik Moore in Week 1 takes home that honor, and the announcement coming down just today that it's Grant Good. So back-to-back Jersey Blues who win the Garden State Athletic Conference Player of the Week.
Yeah, no surprise there. I mean, we talked about how impressive Good was. I'm not at all surprised.
Jersey Blues get another chance. They're leading by 19. Moore sets up the offense to the corner for Olakani. Bradshaw now on the drive. Knocked away. Ringel on the floor to keep it alive. Olakani drives in, running one-hander, no, but a foul. So this will result in free throws for Olakani. Third team foul against the Colts. Olakani shooting it at 64%, rattles home the first one. One thing that's been interesting about this game so far is Brookdale coming in. We talked about in the open the offensive prowess that they displayed. They've scored 95 points in each of their first 4 games. A little bit of a different approach they've gone tonight, not as high scoring. The defense, though, has been hounding.
Yeah, the defense has played very well, and I'm surprised that they haven't had more points to show for so far, but we're very early on in this second half. You and I were kind of talking about this right before we came on. I'm thinking Brookdale can easily get to the low 80s, but I'd be very surprised if they'd be able to get to 90. I wouldn't put it past them. I'd be surprised if they get to 90 at this point. They're just so strong on offense. And so far, Middlesex has really been having a lot of trouble trying to contain them on the offensive glass and just in general on offense. They're just having a lot of trouble.
All 4 of Brookdale's wins have come by double figures. Robertson counted a long three-pointer for Jaquan Robertson. Now Bradshaw flips it up. Ringel's tip-in won't go. And Bradshaw gets it back and goes glass.
I tell you what, Bradshaw has been very impressive tonight. I know that he's a really good player coming off of last year. We know what he's capable of, but he has stepped up his performance in the rebounding category. Been all over the boards this evening.
Yeah, he's taken his game to a new level. Foul on the pass here as Robertson was left open. But it's an offensive foul.
Oh, wow.
So, see who picked that one up. It was Jamar Joseph who picks up his second. So already 14 fouls for Middlesex. And Brookdale with the ball in a 22-point lead. And now Ringel. Olakani diving for it. And we get a timeout. So just over 3 minutes into this second half. It's Brookdale 46, Middlesex 24. We'll step aside here on Brookdale TV. We'll be back in just a moment. Paul Chizek talking it over with his team. Team has been in command for just about the entire game tonight. As Ringel underneath the basket and too far underneath, he's out of bounds.
Yeah, just a tough spot for Ringel to grab that inbounds pass. Underneath the basket, pinned up against the baseline and double team. There's really, you're to the point of no escape at that point underneath the basket.
There's Robertson, or that's Joseph. His shot blocked. Brookdale's gotten their hands on a number of shots. Bradshaw can't believe he didn't catch it. Because if he did, he would have had an easy attempt at the basket, and he knows that one's on him.
Yeah, Jaimik Moore was actually looking at Zach Olakani, and I thought Olakani believed the pass was coming to him, and then when it went to Kyle Bradshaw instead, I think that threw Bradshaw off a little bit, and that's what led to that turnover.
Kodakiewicz, pump fake. Guarded tightly there by McNeil, and then over-aggressive. McNeil picks up a foul. It'll be Brookdale's third of the second half. And then for McNeil, it's his first. So a side out of bounds for Kodakiewicz. McNeil is right there. Trouble getting it in, and then stolen by Ringel. Olakani one-on-one. Olakani, what a move! He lays it in. He just has a knack in the open floor for finishing tough angles. In traffic, he can do it all. Joseph put it on the ground, but he traveled. And so a change here for Middlesex. Cameron Santil is in. And for Brookdale, the five on the floor is Moore, Good, Ringel, McNeil, and Olakani. This is Olakani. Got bumped along the baseline. Now Good's jumper is short. Rebound Santil. And a blocking foul. Jaimik Moore hits the ground, and he gets hit with the foul.
And I'm not sure why Moore came out that far away from the basket and tried to block Middlesex from coming down the floor. I know that Middlesex had a little bit of a fast break opportunity, but just not, in my mind, a very good foul to commit for Moore. Certainly knowing that there was going to be no way he was going to be able to set his feet to get an offensive foul called. So I'm a little bit confused why Moore chose to try to block there almost 30 feet away from the basket.
Now they're going to change which side they inbound. They'll come near side with Robertson. You saw a moment ago the animation of Bilal Dixon on the Colts sideline, as he's not happy. And I don't think he's going to be happy about this. Offensive foul away from the ball. Javon Murky picks up his third now.
Yeah, it's just been a rough night for Middlesex. They really have struggled to get anything going, and they've not only struggled with Brookdale's high-tempo offense, but they've beat themselves when they've had the ball by costly turnovers.
And Moore, it was halfway down. It rung around, but it missed. Now Middlebrooks stopping and going. Now he turns on the Jets. Picked up there by McNeil. Working around Robertson. Quick catch and fire. Short. Ringel soars up for the rebound. Moore thought about it. Shake and bake move behind the back. Ringel gives it up. There's Grant Good on the drive, and he's fouled. Switched hands, went up with the left hand, and now will shoot free throws. Team foul number 6 against the Colts. Santil picks up his third, so he, along with Murky, have 3 personals. And it's interesting how for Brookdale that we talked about Jaimik Moore, the reigning player of the week. Well, we just said Good wins that honor with the announcement just coming down today, but it's 2 Jersey Blues who were not on the team last year that have kind of evolved into the dynamic 1-2 punch. Grant Good averaging just under 20 points a game, nearly 10 rebounds as well.
I mean, it certainly helps. We talked about during the latter part of last year how Brookdale was going to be able to recruit and rebound because they were losing so many good players. Well, you mentioned Jaimik Moore and Grant Good, just 2 players, 2 of many that Brookdale's pulled in during the offseason that have really helped this offense out tremendously.
And Moore's bounce pass goes to Middlebrooks. Slapped away by Olakani. Joseph, the blind pass to the corner. long, that's behind the arc, a three-point try by Robertson. And now Brookdale getting a little sloppy, another turnover. Middlebrooks the bounce ahead. Robertson, Olakani was there to alter it. And was it a goaltend? I believe that was the call. So count the basket there for Robertson. It was a good effort by Olakani getting back, trying to deny it off the backboard. And this mini run by the Colts has been sparked by a couple of takeaways. Shot clock at 15. Good. Quickly to the basket, he lays it in.
Yeah, Good just has nice speed off the edge. He has a really quick first step when he goes to take that first dribble. And along the baseline, so far tonight, he's been very good maintaining his balance along that very tight rope of a line as you go down underneath the basket. Very nice finish.
Robertson from point-blank range. Robertson again. And now here's Moore, and Moore able to track it down in the corner. Bradshaw, nice touch pass to Good, who finishes it. Set up by Bradshaw, who we talked about the rebounding he's been doing, but setting up teammates, getting them in good position as well, like he just did there. Here's Miller off the mark, offensive rebound. Nearly an up-and-down violation for Austin, but a foul is called. So Ali Austin to the line. And Frez Cabrera set to check in for Brookdale after this first attempt. For Austin, who had come in having not made a free throw this season, but he gets that one to drop. So Victor Spencer has checked in now. Austin out of Piscataway, New Jersey. That's an area that you know well, being a Rutgers student.
Been up there quite a bit lately, I will say. Looking forward to the break.
Well, there'll be a mini break for Thanksgiving coming up in a couple of days. Jersey Blues by 23. Moore's shot misses. Moore follows it up. May have gotten hit. Moore again. How about the patience for Moore staying with his shot 2 and 3 times and eventually converts.
And just poor boxing out job done by Middlesex. You got to pick up more. There were other players there for Brookdale that Middlesex is just not boxing out, leading to these offensive rebounds.
Miller fires away. That one is out. Rebound, Jaimik Moore. We've seen a couple of shots that have been halfway down but just not dropping. This one from Good is too strong. And here comes Miller. Arkell Miller in the open floor. Nifty move, and he scoops it home for 2. Now Miller averages 8 points a game. 22-point Jersey Blue lead. They slow it down. 8 minutes gone by in the second half. Good looking to use the screen. Good off the curl. Good to the basket. And a whistle and a foul. Team foul of the half. Miller's charged with his first, and it's Good at the line. He's coming off a strong game as well. 24 points. He shot 9 of 11 from the floor, had 10 rebounds. That was against Camden 2 games ago. But on the season, averaging nearly 20 points and 10 rebounds, and that's good enough for Conference Player of the Week.
Yeah, he's
Second attempt. No good.
Yeah, he's close to averaging a double-double every week, Grant Good is. So certainly a player that Brookdale really is happy to have on their team this year, I will say.
For Middlesex, they're coming off really a tough season a year ago. They were just 6 and 22. Off to a 500 start through 4 games. Remains to be seen if they're going to be one of the better teams in this conference. Step back jumper by Joseph is short. Ahead for Bradshaw. Bradshaw spins around and floats it up and in with the right hand. Spencer. And Cabrera tips it to himself for the rebound.
Oof.
Bodies go to the ground, and it's an offensive foul. Kind of a late whistle.
Really late call there, Brian. Wow.
It's on Jaimik Moore. They didn't blow the whistle until after the pass had gone out to the corner.
I mean, that obviously was an offensive foul on Jaimik Moore. He was way out of control going into the paint, but you got to be able to call that quickly. You cannot let that go and hesitate there. I'm surprised the officials didn't call that right away.
Second on Moore. Each team has committed 7 fouls in the half.
That's another foul on Cabrera there, so that's 2 quick fouls that Brookdale's committed. Unnecessarily. I mean, you have the one where you're up by double digits here. You're approaching a 30-point lead, which is not too far out of reach. I'm surprised that Brookdale, when they come down the floor, is not trying to eat up some clock as opposed to continuing to keep their foot on the gas and pressure.
So Middlebrooks in a 1-and-1 misses. And it's out of bounds off the Colts. They disagree. And now they're
Coach Chizak's getting up.
Yeah, he's anticipating they're going to change the call, I guess, because he's yelling out, but it's jersey blue ball. Kenneth LaRocca is checked in. Jersey Blues by 25 past hit. LaRocca gets to it. Inside Bradshaw, his shot. Tip in, no. Trying to stay with it, but it's rebounded by Joseph. Middlebrooks stolen by Bradshaw. And Moore is fouled. They're going to get Middlebrooks, not a whole lot there. But it's the 8th team foul against the Blue Colts. This will be a 1-and-1 for Jaimik Moore.
Yeah, I know Middlebrooks is disappointed with that call, but he definitely got into Moore as they were coming down the floor. You really can't touch a guy when he's got that amount of speed coming down the floor. It's going to be automatically a defensive foul.
So Moore can't convert at the line. Stepping into the jumper, Joseph. And Moore the rebound. Quick outlet, Bradshaw. Bradshaw to the basket, lays it up and in. That's Jersey Blue basketball in a nutshell. Get the rebound off the miss, one quick pass out in transition, and get the finish.
And that's been part of the problem. Middlesex has just not been able to have 1 or 2 guys back on defense to anticipate that. So I'm surprised they haven't made adjustments because you mentioned it, Brian. That's really been where Brookdale has gotten all of these points tonight.
And an offensive foul. It looked like they called it away from the ball. Didn't get the jersey number there. So we'll be Brookdale basketball. Ringgold getting ready to inbound. 9:43 left to go in the second half tonight. LaRocca handling the point guard duties. Cabrera out for Lampley. Pump fake. Now Cabrera gets it back, and the follow is good. The follow is good, and it was by Grant Good. To make it 62-33. Cabrera went down. Robertson denied inside by Ringgold. He continues to add to the block numbers. But Middlesex gets it back off the turnover. Joseph bullet feed. Robertson lines it up. Off the mark. Tipped up in the air. Good corrals it, and Good, I think, was hit on the arm and fouled.
But that's really, you talked about nutshell, that is really the evening in a night right there. Brookdale has the ball. They're coming down the floor. Yes, they turn it over, but Middlesex only had one player back on defense. When the ball goes the other way in a fast break opportunity for the Colts, Brookdale has 2, sometimes 3 players already back there anticipating that. Middlesex wasn't able to capitalize. Good gets the rebound. He's fouled. He's going to the line. That's really kind of been the story of this game. Whenever Middlesex has a fast break opportunity, there's 2 or 3 guys back on defense. Middlesex, when Brookdale has a fast break opportunity, most of the time doesn't have anywhere back there in the vicinity, and they're trying to play catch up.
Good 66% free throw shooter as Stephon Forbes is in the game. And the sophomore makes 2 at the line. Inside 9 minutes to go. But Middlebrooks tried to slip it inside. Ringle the steal. Cabrera, nice look. Lampley uncontested. So we've seen Lampley get some minutes here tonight. Didn't see a lot of action in the last game. That was his first game played of the season, but Paul Chizek has called his number tonight, and he's delivered. Valencia trying to circle around Forbes. Now at the foul line, Joseph knocks it down. (66-35). Good, gets inside, had it knocked away. It'll stay with Brookdale as Ali Austin, Joseph Kudakiewicz, and Cameron Santil all enter the game for the Colts. Forbes inbounding, looking, and was it a violation? I don't think he got the pass out in time. Yeah, a 5-second call. Here comes Cabrera off the steal. Cabrera, yes, and 1. As the trailing defender commits the foul, and Cabrera able to get it to go and a chance to add 1 more.
Just so many fast break opportunities, fast break points that Brookdale's been able to accumulate over this evening. It's really been incredible how quickly they're just able to run the ball up the floor.
We're shooting 62%. 3-point play is good. It's been all Brookdale tonight. The jumper misses by Robertson. Will stay here with Middlesex.
And I have to say, Brian, I'm surprised that Middlesex has not been able to put up a better fight against Brookdale. I mean, certainly they're at home. They're very tough to beat at home over the last several seasons, regardless of what players are on the floor. But I'm just surprised that Middlesex just does not have more of an answer for Brookdale. They knew they were high-tempo offense, but they just have never been able to really counteract that.
There's Cabrera rocking the rim with one hand. Another fast break bucket for Brookdale. And the 5'7" Cabrera showing his ups on that one. Foul called. Well, and as you said, it's a Middlesex team. They average just under 83 points a game. You look up at the board with 7:15 remaining, they have 35. Brookdale more than doubling that total. As Middlebrooks misses, rebound good. Brookdale still running and gunning, and that time Lampley lost it. And both of these teams are going to take a week off after the game is over tonight. And the Jersey Blues will go out on the road 1 week from tonight. They'll meet Rowan College at Gloucester County. Won't be back here until a week from Thursday. Santil is denied, and Ringle just continues to have all of the blocked shots. It's really been incredible.
Yeah, we mentioned at the beginning of the game, he averages 4 blocks coming into this. He had a game-high 7 blocks against Hartford Community College was the first game Brookdale played to start out their season. A Division I school, we should mention, so certainly no surprise, but that's been something that he's improved on over last year. We knew Matt Ringel was a presence down low, but he's really started blocking a lot more shots this year.
Jamar Joseph gets that one to go. Ringel
Nice
gets
pass.
it up inside and good, able to go up for two.
And that's the other thing, too, with this team. They're just very unselfish with the basketball. Giving to the guy up to the guy who's open, not hanging on the ball too long, just really making some very nice passes. Last time down the floor, Ringel making a nice pass to Good, or to Good. I mean, just unselfish basketball and crisp passes are really been the name of the game tonight, and it's been really impressive to watch against a team like Middlesex.
Santil blocked again by Ringel. Kudakiewicz stays with it. A follow-up again, and Joseph finally puts it in. Jamar Joseph trying to get going here in the second half, but this lead is pretty much out of reach for Brookdale. There's Joseph on the defensive glass. Robertson out, Santil, three-point try, way off the mark. Rebound good, outlet for Ringel. Ringel off the bounce, he misses the dunk. Serbo fakes on the three. Mark Serbo's in the game. Forbes corner pop, that's good, a three ball. Stefan Forbes with his first from long range. He shoots it at 40% from deep. Robertson hesitation and draws the foul. (76-39). The last time these teams met, well, it was a rout of a similar kind. 104-65 win for Brookdale on Middlesex's home floor. They swept the season series a year ago. This the first of two meetings for this season. Robertson, 72% shooter. Sophomore out of Carteret, New Jersey. Brookdale has Serbo, Lampley, Good, Ringel, and Forbes. And able to pick it up was Kudakiewicz. Joseph, tough finish with the left hand. Jamar Joseph, who came in as the leading scorer, averaging 20 a game. Quiet early, but he's gotten going of late. Forbes may have walked with it. His jumper inside the arc is off. And Robertson lays it up and in. Nice fast break. We were anticipating a timeout was going to be called there, and now there is. So a 30-second timeout with 4:16 left to go, and this one well in hand. And we'll take a break here on Brookdale TV. We'll be right back.
My daughter was born premature, and the hospital's respiratory therapist saved her life. When the economy crashed, we moved back to New Jersey for my husband's career, but nobody was hiring drama teachers. So I joined the respiratory therapy program at Brookdale. It's a great field with job security, and you can be there for people who really need you. My name is Joriel Miller, and I came to Brookdale to change my career. I never imagined I could help save a life.
I'm a bit of an introvert. At a big university, I could have been lost in the crowd, but Brookdale helped me find my voice. My name is
4:16 left to go. And a game that the Jersey Blues have led from the start tonight. And the lead right now is probably the largest it's been all game at 32. Brookdale can eat away at the clock, which they're doing here. Shot clock down to 5. Lampley spinning. Lampley draws the foul. So he was pressed to make something happen with the timer getting down inside 5 seconds, and now we'll go to the line.
Yeah, when you look at this upcoming schedule for Brookdale, obviously most likely they're going to get a win tonight against Middlesex. They go on the road on Tuesday to play Rowan College at Gloucester County. Coach Chisak told me that's going to be a good test for this team. That's going to be a tough game. Rowan always plays very well. Then the other game that they have coming up, which is the next home game that we have on the 30th, is against Raritan Valley Community College. He also feels that's going to be a very tough game. And then that'll really be the final home game that they have, with the exception of a game on December 12th against County College of Morris. The entire rest of the December schedule for Brookdale is all on the road against teams like Bergen, Atlantic Cape, Ocean, Cumberland, Sussex. So certainly doesn't get any easier, but those two games in particular, Coach Chisak said, are going to be tough games for this team.
That's Moore who slaps that shot attempt out of bounds. Foul is called, though, so Robertson goes to the line. And talking about Rowan College at Gloucester County, an upcoming opponent, Brookdale is one of 3 unbeaten teams in the Region 19 right now. The other 2, Northampton and Rowan Gloucester, so it's still early. Brookdale's only played 4 games, this being their 5th, but about as good of a start in the region as anyone's had.
Yeah, Brookdale doesn't have to play Northampton until the last game of the year, so they got a while before they play them.
And that's always a fun matchup when those two go at it. As Joseph was denied, gets it back, puts it in, foul is called, and the basket will count. Jaimik Moore called on his 3rd, so Joseph a chance to add 1 more at the line. McNeil is in, and Grant Good can take a breather.
He's probably going to be done for the night, because certainly with an over 30-point lead, there's no reason to keep one of your star players on the floor unnecessarily.
And this has been a game where Jaimik Moore certainly has done his part offensively, but it's a game where just about everyone has gotten into the game at some point, and everyone has contributed.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we were talking about even in the opening with how deep this team is, the depth that they have. That's certainly just a benefactor that this team is going to have all season, to be able to go to the bench and look to guys to come off the bench. I mean, I think you mentioned it. I think every single person has been in the game at least once tonight and has contributed in some way. So that's certainly impressive when you have the confidence as a coaching staff and even as a head coach like Paul Chisak to look to your bench in these type of situations and put guys in and feel confident that they can get the job done, while maybe some of your better known players such as Jaimik Moore or Kyle Bradshaw take a seat on the bench.
Moore now has 4 fouls, so he's on the bench. Here's Forbes, lays it up and in. Joseph had it stripped. Foul is called. McNeil can't believe it, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter very much. This has been a game where Paul Chisak hasn't really had to get too angry on too many occasions.
Yeah, he's been standing now for the past 7 minutes because Zach Olakani stole his seat on the sidelines there, so he's got really nowhere to go. Got nowhere to go. But you're right, he hasn't really had much to yell about, so that's going to be a lane violation. I don't think Brookdale realized that was a 2-shot foul, so that's going to, I think, add another shot to an already 2-shot foul, I believe. Maybe not. Official's got 1 finger in the air, so I think that was clean. But yeah, not to call Olakani out, but he kind of stole Coach Chizak's seat next to Coach Brunson and Coach Pastore on the sideline, so now he's really got nowhere to go.
Serbo loses it. And a whistle. Looks like possession will remain with Brookdale. Now the officials are going to get together here, determine who should have it, with Brookdale up by 31.
I will say, Coach Chizek was very relaxed pregame. Usually he's a little bit more animated pregame, but he was very relaxed. So I think he felt confident about this game even before the game started.
Morgan misses. McNeil on the offensive glass. Rebound. Joseph stolen back by McNeil, and he puts it in. Makai Morgan will get called on that one, a push.
I mean, it doesn't really matter now because you have such a big lead, but ordinarily that's a foul that you really don't want to commit. You really want to limit the amount of fouls that you commit in the backcourt. It's one thing once you get across that midcourt line, even if it's a senseless reach-in foul, at least it's in the latter half of the court, not in the backcourt. You never want to commit a foul back there. That's just unnecessary, particularly when you have such a big lead.
So Jamar Joseph's night appears to be over as he checks out in favor of Victor Spencer. And Middlebrooks puts one in at the line. 81-49 as we come up on 2 minutes left to go. Forbes had it poked away. Forbes able to track it back down, nearly lost it. And Morgan can't finish. Scooped up by Middlebrooks. Bounce pass was knocked away by Lampley, but then getting it back was Kudakiewicz for two. Serbo got around Spencer. Now Morgan, a little sloppy with it. And Robertson counted and one.
Yeah, Morgan just wasn't ready for that pass. That's why he wasn't able to handle it, and that led to that now and one opportunity for Middlesex on the other end.
Down to 1:22 to go, as Middlesex will drop a game under the 500 mark. They'll be 2-3.
And this is going to send a message, Brian, to some of the other teams in the conference in the Region 19 that Brookdale is here to play this year. Remember, they're coming off of the Region 19 title last year. Very impressive. Didn't do so great in the national tournament, but I think it's going to send a message not just to the region, but potentially other teams that may play Brookdale later on, that this is a team that means business.
Serbo. And more fouls. So this game's slowing to a crawl here the last couple of minutes. Serbo gets his first opportunity at the line.
And now Coach Chizek finds a seat.
Right in the middle there.
Yeah.
A lot to be happy about with this game. So the Jersey Blues will get a chance to take some time off, get to enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday, and get back set for action 1 week from tonight when they'll be on the road, and what will be a tightly contested game between two unbeatens. Nice move by McNeil. And our next broadcast here on Brookdale TV will be a week from Thursday against Manor College.
Yeah, the women are going to play Manor College, and then the men, as I just mentioned a couple moments ago, will play Raritan Valley Community College, which is a team that is very good. They're going to have a lot more offensive power than what we've seen in this game tonight that Brookdale is going to be going up against. So it's going to be a true test. Next two games for this men's team are going to be true tests of what they have.
Robertson's been busy at the free throw line here in the second half. 1 out of 2 there. Rebound Lampley. They cannot officially run the clock out as there's less than a half less than a full second difference shot in game clock. But Lampley will take as much time off as he can. And this one was not really in doubt for any part of the game. Brookdale jumped out 7-0 quickly, built a lead to as many as 32 as they'll take the violation. And there you go, there was a tenth of a second difference, about as close as it gets. I'm not sure what the interruption is there, but you can't catch and shoot with a tenth of a second, not that it would matter, and that will wrap it up tonight. So it's a Jersey Blue sweep of the doubleheader. Strong performance by the women to get us started tonight, and then the men's team left little doubt with a dominating, convincing 85-55 victory against Middlesex, their 5th win in a row to start the season. So we'll get set to welcome you back inside. Brian Goudsward and Tim Catalfamo. And Tim, this one, as we know, was little doubt the entire game. But going forward for this team, I mean, we talked about the chances of this team being one of the top teams in all the region, and big tests coming up against some of the teams that are in their same position as undefeated. Yeah, it'll be certainly a good test. They'll go on the road and then they'll come back home to play a very good team in Raritan Valley. But, you know, really the impressive thing about this team, and we talked about it, and I've said this a couple times, and we didn't see this last year, the incredible amount of depth that this team has. We saw depth last year on last year's team, but it wasn't to this degree. We saw every single player come in at one point in the game tonight and be able to contribute to something. Certainly there are standout players such as Jaimik Moore, Kyle Bradshaw, Grant Good, just to name a few. But there are other players on this team that can come off the bench and can do very well. Cabrera had 15 points in the last game against Passaic and did a nice job tonight coming off the bench again. So there's so many different players that Brookdale has that can come off the bench. That's what makes them very dangerous. So as I said, this win sends a message that, hey, listen, this team is not only here to play, but they have a lot of weapons and a lot of options when they come to play. Certainly not only on their roster, but on their bench. So a 5-0 start for the Jersey Blues. They win tonight by 30. We thank everyone for tuning into our doubleheader today. For Tim Catalfamo, I'm Brian Goudsward. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone, and we'll be back 1 week from Thursday for our next broadcast here on Brookdale TV. Have a good night.